In December of 2023, Lisa Dykes was convicted of the murder of Marisela Botello. The trial I covered on my channel. I will link in the description. What bothered me throughout that trial is the lack of evidence. The claim was that Marisela was stabbed, but the only blood that could be found was about a foot long, maybe half a foot wide in an L shape. Simply not enough for her to bleed out, in my opinion. More to that, when they found her remains, she had her front teeth knocked out. None of this speaks to Lisa Dykes as the perpetrator, but in that trial, the prosecutors chose to cut a deal to her girlfriend and her boyfriend. Yes, Lisa Dykes had a girlfriend, or wife, if you so will, and a boyfriend. That boyfriend's name was Charles Beltran. Now, Charles Beltran is a player. Throughout the trial, there were testimony about exactly how easy he had to get women. He could, in the grocery stores, at Walmart, at a gas stop, bars. And Mr. Beltran was the guy who brought Marisela to the house. The claim he made on the stand was they had relations. She was on top of him. He fell asleep while she was on top of him. And when he woke up, he claimed that Lisa Dykes, in a fit of jealous rage, stabbed Marisela. But again, where's the blood? How did Marisela's front teeth get knocked out? Now, the reason why it took so long for it to go to trial, there were a lot of stupid decisions from Lisa Dykes. They fled to Asia, where her and her wife had to be extradited from. So yeah, speaks to a guilty conscience. All the while, Mr. Beltran was putting the blame on her in order for him to get lesser sentence, so to speak. And mid-trial, the prosecutors announced that the charges against Mr. Beltran was dropped completely. Maybe for the murder, that is. It was not dropped for they concluded that he was involved in hiding the body. And now we come to the part where the thumbnail becomes less clickbaity. The lead detective, during cross-examination from the defense, acknowledged that on the place they found Marisela's remains, they found, sometime later, a second set of human remains. Just a few bones, but still, an unidentified female. on almost the exact same spot. And if you have studied or watched serial killers, you know how rare it is that human remains are found that near of the same gender, same age group, by pure chance, especially at that area. And Marisela's remains had no marks for the so-called stabbing, none whatsoever. All the forensics testimony, no marks, not from knife, not from anything, not blunt force trauma, not sharp force trauma, but she had her front teeth knocked out somehow. And that brings us back to Mr. Beltran. Mr. Beltran has a history of violence towards women. Long and extended one. And all the evidence in that trial, in my opinion, pointed to him as the sole killer. And why the prosecution chose to have him as the snitch? Well, it's always easier to get a conviction if you have one who squeals on the other. But here I believe that the prosecution made a fatal mistake. Not only because I believe Mr. Beltran is the real killer of Marisela, but the fact that they found a second set of remains tells me that that area is a drop site. The police have never gone back to search for more. They have never gone back with cadaver dogs to search for more remains. Somehow they got their conviction and now they're done. They don't care. To my knowledge, they have not even identified the second set of remains. Just that it was female and roughly in Marisela's age group. So, with this knowledge, with some speculation, of course, this is my opinion and nothing else. But I am not sure if Mr. Beltran is a serial killer at all. But the evidence pointed out in that trial tells me that whoever killed Marisela probably killed that other girl as well. And if that person is Mr. Beltran, then the question is it just two? Is it more? And how many more will die? Because the prosecution in Dallas, Texas chose to cut him a deal and let him loose. You tell me if I'm far off in the comment section, but watch that trial. Watch his testimony. That's all you need to watch, in my opinion. And then you come back and tell me if I'm wrong. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. See you later. Bye-bye.